Welcome back to a brand new bowling season and a brand new bowling show, Bowling Showcase. The only show to connect you with everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. I'm your host, Mark Martin, and with me is my co-host, Stephanie Pankson. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Mark. This is really exciting. A new show and a whole new season of MDUSBC bowling entertainment, fun, and excitement. I can't wait to get started.
Well, then let's get right to it. First off, though, I'd like to thank our host center for this month's show, Novi Bowl in Novi.
Later on in the show, we'll take a peek around this state-of-the-art bowling center and learn more about all they have to offer.
But now, let's jump right into the action for the 15-16 season with a look back at our kickoff premier event, the Gavi Tournament, right here on Bowling Showcase. Kicking off the 2015-16 MDUSBC bowling season, the 79th annual Gavi Tournament was held recently at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park.
Well, I view it as the kickoff of the bowling season in the metro area here. It's had that history for all those years, and it really is one of the establishments, for lack of a better term, starting events for our industry here.
This historic event, which brings together men and women bowlers of all ages from across the state, has grown considerably in its 79 years, despite its humble origins.
Well, how it all started was when Uncle Johnny was involved in bowling. It was more with the All-Stars, you know. Well, he decided to have a tournament to honor these guys. So more or less, he started it for the All-Star bowlers because they couldn't get in any league. Nobody wanted to bowl with them guys. They were too good, you know. So basically, that's how it started. When I got involved in it, Uncle Johnny had 54 teams. Now we're 100 plus. So the tournament has grown. It has grown so big that it's more like a family.
And throughout its long run, other centers have hosted the event, with Thunderbolt Lanes proudly hosting the tournament now. Its long running is a testament to the admiration felt for tournament founder John Gavi.
We all really admired John Gavi, who the tournament is named after. He was one of the greatest promoters of bowling that you could imagine. He was out and about in all the bowling alleys, worked for everyone. So this is a real testament to John Gavi.
The Gavi Tournament brings together adult bowlers of all skills to shake off the rust of a long summer, catch up with old friends, and share a fun evening of camaraderie and good times.
The Gavi gives us the opportunity to see all of the all-star bowlers that we haven't seen in a while, you know. We're still there. We got a little gray in our hair, but we're still there. We still pack a punch.
And what started out all those years ago as a tournament for all-stars and broadened into something larger and more meaningful, much to the delight of the Gavi family.
Oh, it's the biggest thrill you can have. You can't have a bigger thrill to have something your name tied up to.
Bowlers and sponsors alike see the importance of this kickoff tournament as a way of bringing all generations of bowlers together to connect and help the awareness and growth of the sport.
And we raise money to help support the Michigan Junior Masters. The money that we raise goes back into their youth scholarship and their year-end awards. So it's a great time to kind of get around and see everybody again, and then for a great cause as well.
As with the beginning of every season, the Gavi Committee honors special people within the bowling community who help shape and steer our sport in the Detroit area. This year's awards went to Mark and Diane Voigt in the Open Division.
This is a very special honor because the Gavi Tournament has a special place in the Detroit community. But to be recognized within our own community and our own business community is very special to us.
Michelle Mullen in the Women's Division.
When I first moved here about 15 years ago, I had bowled it, and even then I was amazed at the legacy that this tournament brings. And it's an honor certainly to be bestowed the dedication tonight.
And last but not least, Bill DeWitt in the Senior Division.
I probably bowled in the Gavi Tournament, I would say probably since I was probably 40 years old, which is like 35 years ago.
It was an evening of good friends, good bowling, and a whole lot of fun in the 15 Gavi Tournament. and a great start to the 15-16 season.
What a great way to start the MDUSBC bowling season. Looks like a lot of fun.
It was. And what a tradition. 79 years, still going strong. Just another example that bowling is alive and well in Metro Detroit.
The Gavi was the start of the bowling season, and now in December, things are moving pretty fast in the MDUSBC. What are some of the top stories in the MDUSBC news this month?
Well, Ronnie Sparks Jr., he was awarded an Eagle, which is symbolic for winning the United States Bowling Congress Open Singles title. In November, we welcomed 4 new members into the Detroit Bowling Hall of Fame. Jan Pavella, Kurt Pilon, Chris Sand, and Rick Schultz all joined the Hall. And that's all the news you need to know in MDUSBC. Now it's time to jump right into the action of the first women's event for the 15-16 season, the Queens Tournament, held October 17th and 18th at Hazel Park Bowl.
This tournament features many of the top women bowlers in the USBC and is always competitive. Let's take a look.
It was a weekend of challenging lane play, pin counts, and determination as 38 of Metro Detroit's best lady bowlers participated in the Queens Tournament at Hazel Park Bowl. As the kickoff MDUSBC event for women bowlers this season, the competition was fierce and competitive, with familiar faces and some new ones. Of the 38 bowlers who participated in qualifying, last season's Women's Series point champion Robin Orlikowski led the way with a 6-game total of 1242. Going into match play games on Sunday, familiar names and faces dominated the lanes. Bowlers like Orlikowski, Julie Oczepik, Sandy Schultz, and Michelle Kearns all went into match play with high expectations of taking home the top prize at the end of the day. But it was a relative newcomer, Shannon Rowe of Detroit, who quietly moved up the matches and dominated the lanes. Rowe came into Sunday's match play with her game in top form. Never dropping out of the winner's bracket, Rowe bowled consistent competitive matches and put away some of the top names in previous women's events, first beating Katie Bishop and Darlene Dysart before putting away the 2013 Queens champion, Michelle Kearns. Her last step to the finals was a very competitive match against Sandy Schultz. Schultz, she was at the top of her game, having just defeated top qualifier Orlikowski in a grueling match. But Rowe, she was unfazed by Schultz's strong showing. She quietly and unassumingly racked up strikes and spares, handedly beating Schultz 206 to 182 and moving into the finals undefeated. And what a final it was. Orlikowski, who after being beaten by Schultz earlier in the day, fought her way through the losers brackets to end up in the championship match. But Rowe, with zen-like patience and incredible skill, was not the least bit intimidated. Never taking her eye off the prize, Rowe bowled a great game, and with the crowd looking on, she defeated Orlikowski 217 to 181 to win the MDUSBC Queens title in her very first Queens competition.
I want to thank the Lord, my Heavenly Father, for being here to support me throughout this whole weekend. I want to thank my family, my extended family, and my immediate family, because without them I couldn't do this. Without Queen B and Novella saying, hey, come on out here and bowl in the Queens, I wouldn't be here today. So I thank everyone for my support. My rookie year, first time bowling in this tournament. I'll be back next year.
Congratulations to Shannon Rowe on winning the Queens Tournament.
In her very first Queens competition, looks like this season's Women's Series will be really something to watch. And we'll be here to bring it all to you.
That's right, Stephanie. Now, we're going to take a little break, pay a little bills, but stick around. We'll be right back with more bowling action on Bowling Showcase. Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com. Owning and operating a bowling center is a unique business, and no one knows it like Sandy Hansel and Associates. We've been buying, selling, and valuing bowling centers for over 30 years. We've sold over 500 centers and valued more than 1,200 centers throughout the United States and Canada. We often assist the purchaser in securing financing, obtaining your liquor license transfer, and avoiding potential pitfalls unique to this business. Trust your next bowling center transaction to Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling's only full-service broker, appraiser, and financial advisors. Visit us at sandyhansel.com. Welcome back. We're having a great time bringing you all the action and excitement of the 15-16 bowling season right here on Bowling Showcase. So Stephanie, are you having fun yet?
I sure am, Mark.
Stephanie and I are avid bowlers, and we know that bowling is really for everyone. Doesn't matter your age, gender, or ability, whether you're a pro, a league bowler, or just having fun on a Friday night. Bowling is a lifelong activity. Now, Stephanie, when did you get started bowling?
I probably started when I was just 3 years old. My dad started taking me to the lanes. After that, I was hooked.
You know, a lot of bowlers get into the sport through family members who want to share their love of the game. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the MDUSBC Adult Youth Tournament from 10 Pins in Trenton.
I'm bowling with my dad for an Adult Youth Baker Tournament, and it was really fun.
Me and my daughter Melanie decided to come out today and bowl in the 2015 USBC Youth Tournament. We had a great time. Today's format is a Baker style format. I know that in years past they used to do it where each individual scores added up together to get your team total score. But now they're doing a Baker's format, which I think is great. It enables more of a team atmosphere, more team event, and we love it.
I'm doing it here today to support the youth. Bowling with my cousin and my daughter today. It gives kind of a real difference because it gives you a time to interact with your youth or with your family member, you know, brings y'all a little closer, something y'all can experience together.
Okay, I'm here today to bowl the Adult Youth Tournament and with my daughter Naomi, and hopefully we can pick up where my wife and my daughter left off last year winning. It's fun to watch the kids bowl their own tournament, but when you get to come out and interact with them and hear their thoughts and impart, you know, your wisdom on them while you're bowling, you know, it just makes it a more enjoyable and pleasant experience.
It allows you and the kids to really build camaraderie with each other and to work together, and that's important as they grow up learning life skills. So it's a great avenue to that.
It kind of all started with with his dad and my granddad, and then it just been passed down. My dad does it, my aunt does it, my other cousins does it, my brother does it, my parents do it. So it's just the whole family orientated thing. So in my family, all of us have been bowling for years, so it kind of runs in our DNA.
I love the sport. It's a lot of fun, and yeah.
That brings back great memories of bowling with my dad when I was young. Why don't you share your love of the game and take a family member bowling? It might lead to a lifelong love of the game, and it's a whole lot of fun. Speaking of fun, there's a whole lot of fun going on right here at our host center, Novi Bowl. Mark, tell us all about it.
Okay, we're here with Jerry Harris, the proprietor of Novi Bowl. Jerry, what kind of things you got going on here?
Oh, Mark, I'm glad you asked. We got a lot of great new things along with some old things that are great. We just redid our redemption center to enhance our birthday parties. We've redone our whole carpet throughout the center. We've also done some outside renovations to make the center look good for our bowlers coming back. And what's coming up actually next week is our New Year's Eve party. A lot of people think that around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, that things are already booked, but you can always call last minute. You can take your reservation, you can reserve a spot, and enjoy your family. Also happening here at Novi, right down from us today, we have a league finishing up. We do small season leagues, and they come in, they form a league for 8, 10, 12 weeks, and they're actually going to come back. And corporate parties are also big. Some people think that, again, they have to do them in December or November, but we have openings all the way through the end of the year, and a lot of people take advantage of that.
And you know, holidays are about family, so that's perfect what you're saying. Come bring your family out to bowl on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's very true, and we get a ton of reservations. In fact, a lot of times from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till we close, we're booked during that holiday break. So it's really a great thing for us here at Novi.
You got a great food supply here too, right? Food offerings.
Our pizzas. In fact, Dan Miller from I think it's Channel 2 now, but he made a comment on the news one day that we have the best fries in Novi. So come on out, try the fries, try the food, the pizza, and book your party with us. We also specialize in birthday parties, all ages.
Very good. Well, Jerry, thank you for being with us. Thank you for hosting us this month. We really appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thanks, Mark, and a big thank you to Novi Bowl. Next, it's time to boost your bowling IQ when we come back with more Bowling Showcase.
Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com.
300 isn't just a number, it is our destination. Shouting at a ball will make it strike more. Nothing is as satisfying as hurling dangerously heavy spheres at stationary objects and watching X's fill the frames. You know it, we know it. So here's to the ballers, the lane dwellers, the alley cats. We are DV8. Tonight we bowl. For all the latest DV8 product information, visit your local pro shop or check out damngoodbowling.com.
For competitors of all ages, bowling is for life. And USBC is with you every step of the way. USBC and you, a future for the sport.
Welcome back to Bowling Showcase. Now it's time to boost your bowling IQ with Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center Gold Coach Lou Marquez.
Thanks, Mark. It's time to raise our bowling IQ. I'm here with Rotogrip staffer and USBC silver level coach Rebecca Sharp-Keegan. Rebecca, tell us a little bit about some of the questions that people ask when they come into our center.
So, Coach, the question I get asked the most is, I throw my ball too fast or too slow. What ball is right for me?
Well, Coach, it all depends on their speed and their technique. So let's talk about bowlers that are going too slow. When a person has slower speed, dynamics, physical abilities, we want to go with shinier equipment, number one, and possibly low flaring bowling balls. Maybe somewhere along the line of like an entry polyurethane mix or a hybrid type of bowling ball, resin and urethane, or a mild entry reactive. These are balls that are best suited for lower speed type of players. We don't want to get into that dull finish just yet, or that super high performance type of bowling ball that you might find up here. You know, that kind of can help them with their physical game.
And for the bowlers that have much more speed?
Well, With bowlers that have more speed, obviously we got to get that bowling ball to slow down. It's got to start revving up. It's got to grip that lane a lot sooner. So we're going to go into, first off, thinking about the dull matte finish bowling balls. So we have different choices here, here, and here. Or more of a high performance type of core, more revving, but more of that aggressive type of reactive surface. So we've got a lot of choices in through here that we can actually put them in to get that ball to slow down and make that dynamic change of direction.
The next most commonly asked question is, what do I do? My ball hooks too much.
That's a big one. That's a big one. You know, when ball hooks too much, obviously we got to look back at the speed of their body, you know. Also the revolution amount, that's important too. That might be a combination. Hooking too much, we might have to go with the shinier finishes specifically, but also in the drilling options, maybe have to tune them down a little bit. But I think the biggest thing when you're hooking too much is finding the right application of that weight block internally to slow down, not rev too fast, kind of rev slowly. So we're kind of going back down here to kind of match them up into the right equipment. Sometimes what they think they need is just too aggressive.
So when they come in and they walk through the door and say, I need a ball that's right for me, what should they expect when they come to Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center?
One of the biggest things that they're always going to expect is we're going to watch them bowl. They're first going to make an appointment with us. We're going to take the time to watch them bowl, and then we're going to go look at their fit, look at their physical ability, watch their revolutions, get a full profile on their abilities, and then we're going to make the right selection choices, match them up, and then talk about the environment that they're going to bowl on and try to make the right selection. You know, bowling balls don't come cheap, and there's a lot of options. 200 different bowling balls out on the wall, but we got to find the right ones, and there's just a few that are just going to hit that home run for them.
So come on in to Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center. Get that bowler in your life, the perfect gift for this holiday season. We are open Tuesday through Saturday from noon until 9, and we would love to see you. Come in and let us help you out.
So we're here to help. For the Metro Detroit Bowling and Resource Center, I'm Lou Marquez. We'll see you next month.
Thanks, Lou. We'll have more tips, tricks, and techniques to boost your bowling IQ every month on Bowling Showcase. Now let's take a look at all the excitement that was the Super Senior Masters Tournament held at historic Garden Bowl in Detroit. Historic Garden Bowl in Detroit was the setting for this season's Super Senior Masters Tournament. This 100-year-old plus bowling center was proud to host this prestigious event, with bowlers over the age of 60 battling it out for that top prize of $1,000. George Humphrey, in his first year of eligibility, was the top qualifier with a 5-game total of 12-21. He plowed through the competition, beating some of the top names in bowling with wins over Bob Schachta, 216-204, former champion Len Cianciolo, 247-237, George Reeves, 223-191, and Lenny Kirsten, 259-226. When all the pins had fallen, he sat comfortably on top of the winner's bracket, eagerly awaiting his final opponent. And who would that final opponent be? None other than Lenny Kirsten, who was beaten and knocked into the loser's bracket by Humphrey one match away from the final. Kirsten, who qualified third with 1193, had very impressive wins over Dan Mayer, John Lingenfelter, and Rick Schultz before his ultimate loss to Humphrey. Now, once in the loser's bracket, Kirsten, with determination and strong play, beat Cianciolo 237-171 for a chance to avenge that earlier loss to Humphrey and a chance at the top prize. Both men went into the final match at the top of their games. Evenly matched, the men traded strikes, spares, and pin counts through the middle frames. But as the game went on, Kirsten seemed to lose a little steam, and Humphrey took advantage. Reeling off strikes, Humphrey started distancing himself from Kirsten and never looked back. In the end, both men played competitive and determined, but Humphrey proved too much for Kirsten to overcome and won the match 269-226.
just feel incredibly blessed and humbled to be a part of this and to have won it. I mean, you know, so many great bowlers and guys that, you know, back when I was, you know, wasn't really a bowler in my own head, you know, guys that I just thought were, you know, like idols. So, you know, it's great. It's humbling.
Now, there was a special competition for non-qualifiers over the age of 70. These matches, just as competitive and exciting as the main event. Pete Minato of Chesterfield won the competition with a 234 to 174 win over Richard Planko of Novi.
Well, this bowling center is over 100 years old. I think that was probably the last time I ever made a cut.
Congratulations to George Humphrey and Pete Minato for their respective wins at this year's Super Senior Masters. Now that's it. The very first episode of Bowling Showcase is coming to a close. So Stephanie, what do you think?
I think it went great, but what do you think? Why don't you connect with us at Bowling Showcase on Facebook and Twitter, or you can email us at bowlingshowcase@gmail.com and let us know.
And remember, you can watch this episode and rebroadcasts of other shows at mdusbc.com. Now for my co-host Stephanie Panksa, I'm Mark Martin. We'll see you next time on Bowling Showcase in the bowling capital of the world.